In a small town where darkness had become normal, lived a boy named Ayan who believed that light was not just something you turned on, it was something you carried. The town once had a grand lighthouse at the edge of a cliff that guided sailors home during storms and nights, but after a massive earthquake, the lighthouse broke down. The government forgot about it. The townspeople gave up. It's dead, they said, let it be. But Ayan, just 14, refused to forget. His father, who died at sea 5 years ago, had been a lighthouse keeper. Ayan remembered sitting with him on the stairs, watching the light rotate through the night sky. As long as this light lives, his father once said, no one is truly lost. That memory became Ayan's mission. With no support, no tools, and no money, he decided he would fix the light himself. Every afternoon after school, he would climb the broken hill to the ruined lighthouse. Dust, rust, and shattered glass welcomed him every time. The inside smelled of time and silence. He began small sweeping floors, removing fallen bricks, studying the old machinery. He borrowed books from school about generators, electrical wiring, and lenses. At night, by candlelight, he'd sketch plans, diagram circuits, and write down every question he didn't yet understand. People laughed. The light is gone, kid. You can't bring back the dead. Even his mother said gently, maybe you should focus on school, beta. But Ayan just smiled and said, this is school for me. His hands got blisters, his feet bled. He failed many times, batteries exploded, circuits sparked, rain ruined his work. But he kept returning. He learned to recycle copper wire from old radios. He rebuilt switches using scrap metal. He found an old magnifying lens in a junkyard and carried it 3 miles on foot. Every piece he needed, he found with effort, not money. He documented everything in a thick notebook he called the Manual of Light. A year passed, then 2. The lighthouse began to breathe again. Walls were stable, machinery reassembled, and the lens was mounted. But the generator was still dead. Without power, there would be no light. Ayan needed a solar setup, but it was expensive. So he designed his own mini turbine powered by the sea wind. Using broken fan blades and an old bicycle chain, he built it piece by piece. The night he connected the final wire, he stood back, heart pounding, breath held. And then, like a miracle, the light blinked. Dim at first, then brighter, then strong and steady. The town below had no idea. Until one stormy night, a boat lost in the fog saw the beam. The captain radioed the port. We see the light. We're heading in. That boat carried 12 people, including a pregnant woman and her husband. The town woke up to sirens, cheers, and one question. How did the lighthouse come back on? Ayan stood quietly at the hilltop, soaked in rain, smiling. The next morning, the mayor, press, and hundreds of people climbed the hill to see it. When asked how he did it, Ayan said, I didn't fix the lighthouse. I just refused to believe it was broken forever. He became a symbol, not of intelligence, but of persistence. He was invited to speak at schools, events, even national television. But he never left his town. He kept the lighthouse running, taught other kids how it worked, and turned the old broken site into a center of learning called the Light Lab. He told every child, don't wait for someone to fix the world. Sometimes you're the only one who sees the switch. Years later, when Ayan was offered scholarships from top universities abroad, he said, I'd rather build lighthouses in the dark places of the world than sit in bright places and do nothing. His story traveled across the globe. Other kids in other forgotten towns began fixing their own lights, some literal, some metaphorical. Ayan's fire had spread, and the lighthouse, once broken and silent, became more than a machine. It became a reminder that even in the deepest darkness, one stubborn heart can bring back the light. Moral of the story, when the world gives up, someone needs to believe again. Fixing the light isn't just about electricity, it's about refusing to accept darkness as normal.